Ireland. France were awesome tonight, which extenuates that gulf between the two teams. And unfortunately, that's just the honest reality of where we're at the moment.
I don't think you can diminish how important the kicking game was and our inability to get the ball back. It didn't happen. It was a cornerstone of what we were trying to do, and it didn't work. And the difficulty was because of those conditions, they didn't have a whole lot of other options to go, okay, this game plan isn't working, let's do this one, right? Because it's difficult under those conditions. So really what you do is you've got your plan A, your plan B is plan A, go harder and make sure it works.
Yeah.
And it never did work for Ireland.
Yeah, because it was interesting in November, Johnny Sexton was making the point, he did a press conference and he was saying, look, with the new escort changes, kicking is now really back in vogue, almost back to when, 2018, Ireland were the best in the world at it. And Sexton was sort of saying, like, we've seen that change, we're working on it. And I suppose tonight was Ireland trying to do it. And did they win, 2, maybe 3 of 14, 15, 16 kicks? So what do you do? I mean, if it's not working for you, you're kind of screwed there, no?
Yeah, you are a little bit, but it's the element of the new laws and the new interpretations. The escort is taken out of it now, so we're seeing far less amount of contests in the air. We've got two people both going up with it for two hands. Now it's just turning into a slapback, which is a 50-50. And unfortunately for Ireland, they come out losing 90% of the 50-50 aerial battles.
Yeah, but we weren't winning the slapback either. I think the slapback does mean there's a little bit more lottery on the ground, but it wasn't as if Ireland were getting up and then we were scrambling. Like France were winning it in the first instance. It was coming back on their side, and then they were picking up the scraps. And actually, the other part of that is their game is made for that, because we attract a lot of players to the ball. They've got huge speed on the outside. They were immediately into transition. They're a better transition team than we are. They're a faster team than us. So they get the ball out wide into those positions. They get out into the midfield, and then they can have the kick if they want, or if not, they can go all the way to the edge with serious gas.
Unstructured rugby.
I think you're in big, if it's such an important part of the game, it was even more important because of the conditions, and it failed. And then you don't have anywhere to go. Ireland didn't have anyone to. They didn't challenge well enough. They didn't scrap well enough, and that was the key. We listed all the things that they needed to do to win the game, and they did many of them. But that was a core component. They didn't do it. They couldn't win the game as a result.
But just on that, like Rob said, there's a certain element of luck to it as well. And like you look at all the kicks, the majority of them are on the money, accurate from Jemison, from Sam. Those contestable balls in the air. And the boys are working on it hard. It's that scrap, when the ball breaks, who wins that 50-50 lottery. And some days it just goes against you. Like I find it hard to find the answer to that. When the kicks are on the money, you're getting one guy in the air.
It's quite like an unsatisfactory piece of analysis, isn't it? Some days it just doesn't go your way.
No, I think what they'll do they'll stick with it and hope they win scraps, do something about the winger contesting of an accurate kick, and then it's the boys in behind now who are probably more important in winning possession back.